Here's a fun new Crokinole challenge for you. How long can you shoot open 20s without missing 2 in a row? Now, this challenge spurred out of the consecutive 20s challenge, and I found that it not only helped to improve my consecutive 20s record, but it also helped with my mentality in terms of these kinds of challenges and in Crokinole gameplay in general. So I wanted to share how and why I came up with this challenge, some of the things it helped me with personally, and some tips for you if you want to give this a shot. I'm also going to end with some updates of what's happening in the Crokinole world because this is a long video. We've got time to kill. So with that, let's get into it. First and foremost, Garrett, did you make a new challenge solely because you couldn't beat the consecutive 20s record? Not exactly. Now, I have been trying to do that on and off, and it hasn't been going very well for me. For one, the current consecutive 20s record is 93, held by Steve Burrows, and two, I am very far off from getting that. For a while, I was sitting at a record of 18 or 19 20s, and the big reason for that was I was getting so frustrated trying to beat that record. I mean, you hit 8, 10, 15 20s in a row and miss. A lot of you can probably relate to the feeling of discouragement when that happens. I myself would get very annoyed. I would start to shoot worse, get more annoyed, and it was just this awful feedback loop. So, to help myself out, I threw in a secondary challenge, which was to not miss 2 in a row. So, whenever I messed up, it was okay because I still had this secondary challenge to build off of. For one, this was just kind of fun to try out to see how long, if I set a timer, I could go without missing 2 in a row. Then I also found it was also helping my consecutive 20s out. I started to hit 16 more consistently, and then it built up more and more. I hit 25 in a row, new personal best. The next day I hit 30 in a row, new personal best. Now, before, when I stopped doing a challenge, I would do it because I was just done and I was annoyed with it. But now, when I hit those records and I finally quit out for a day, it's because I feel like I've accomplished something and hit a new personal best, and I'm left feeling rewarded. So there's the obvious benefit of my consecutive 20s record improving, although still far off from the high record, but hey, personal best. But it was also greatly helping with my mentality, and this greatly correlates to actual Crokinole gameplay. Maybe you can relate to missing an easy takeoff 20 or that golden open 20 opportunity, and you get frustrated and you start playing worse. With this challenge, it really helped out to kind of reaffirm that it is okay to make a mistake as long as you can get your head back in the game and continue on. So for myself, it was really great to not feel frustrated when I messed up a shot because there was still a lot more to go forward with. And that kind of mentality is a huge difference that separates the top players from everybody else. When they mess up, it doesn't affect the rest of their game. They get right back to it and then win championships. So that was my personal experience with this challenge, and I highly recommend that you give it a shot, or any of these 20s challenges for that matter. If you do want to give these a try, here are some tips and recommendations I have for you. In general, whether it's this don't miss 2 in a row challenge or the consecutive 20s or my weird 128 shots challenge, just keep in mind there's a difference between shooting consecutive 20s and actual gameplay where you'll go from shooting open 20s to gameplay to ricochet, back to open 20s, back and forth. And while these challenges are fun and can improve your open 20s, there is a skill discrepancy between just shooting 20s and going between gameplay. So make sure this isn't the only way you practice your open 20s. Secondly, in particular with this challenge, you'll notice there's a timer on screen, and it is cool to see how long you can go and how many 20s you can get in a certain time frame, but don't take that to mean you need to shoot as fast as you can to get as many 20s possible within a certain time limit. That's not what this is about, and that's just not good shooting practice. Make sure you take your time with your shots. And I want to make this note because I know I shoot fast. That's something I had to work on, and even though I've slowed down my shooting, I still shoot freakishly quick. Make sure you're taking your time with your shots because that really doesn't work for everybody. Finally, keep in mind that this challenge is a mental exercise, and there is benefits to not getting discouraged when you miss one and being able to get your head back in the game. Keep in mind, that pressure can build up if you do set a consecutive 20s record, and that's gotten me every time. I mean, when I was doing this challenge, I hit 25, a new personal best, and then I missed 2 in a row because I was just so excited. And the same thing happened when I hit my personal best of 30. So make sure, always stay calm, take a breath, take your time, and have fun. With that, go give this a shot and let me know, 1, how you do, and 2, if it helped you out the same way it helped me. Again, I really think the biggest benefit of this is it helped my mentality of what to do if I make a mistake and not to get in my head. So if you had that same experience, let me know. With that, here's what's coming up in the Crokinole world. First off, this Saturday, it's the quarterfinals for the Crokinole Cup, and both of my brothers, Nolan and Reed, will be playing Saturday afternoon. Nolan's going up against John Titanium Fingers McGee Conrad, and Reed will be going up against Darren Carr. I'm going to be filming both of those and hopefully have at least one match up and running Saturday night. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Immediately after, on Sunday, is the London Crokinole Tournament, a Tier 1 NCAA event hosted by the London Crokinole Club. And again, I'll be there filming, and we'll have the coverage out to you as soon as possible. A week after that, on the Sunday, March 30th, is the Crokinole Cup semis and finals. I'm going to try to live stream these. I don't know if that'll turn out well or not, so you might be able to tune in for those, but I'll be filming them on separate cameras regardless, so we'll have the coverage on that out very shortly after, so make sure you stay tuned into the Crokinole world. If you stuck around this far, thank you for tuning in. My name's Garrett. Happy flicking.